Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the marathon. Let's talk about how it's been going so far. So, it's been probably 3 weeks since I posted my first video, and I wanted to kind of give you guys an update and see how everything's going. So, since my last video, I have kind of made a lot of different changes. First, starting with how I'm going to do YouTube videos. Instead of just wandering on about all of the different things that I've done and all the things I'm doing, I'm going to do separate videos to deep dive on each specific topic, and then I'm going to do another like separate videos like this one, kind of going over overviews of how weeks or months are going. So diving right in, I decided that I'm going to make notes for all my videos. So you've seen me look down a few times. What I'm looking at is a notepad so that I can make sure I stay on topic, because I tend to wander off into the weeds when I'm talking. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is how I decided to get my leads for my real estate business and how I want to continue to do that. I decided that I want to use 3 strategies because I don't want to get overwhelmed with trying to do everything, because there are 5,000,001 ways on how you can get leads, close deals, and keep on doing that. But for me, just starting out, being brand new at this and kind of learning as I'm going, I want to make sure I stuck with 3 so that I can be the master at those and then build on from that. Those 3 are going to be cold calling, SMS blasts, and door knocking. I'm going to do deep dive videos on each one of those, but I'll just do a brief overview. Cold calling is when you get a list of properties and you get a list of addresses and numbers, and you can then either go see those properties and then call them, or you can just call the owners directly and then you just say, hey, like, I'm interested in this property, would you be interested in selling? And it's called cold calling because you're essentially just picking up the phone cold from a cold lead that you've never talked to, and then seeing if you can get them interested in selling your property. Like, versus a warm lead is like, let's say you've already talked to that person, now you kind of already warmed them up, and then you can then try to close that deal. So that's kind of what cold calling is. SMS blast is when you take that same list. Let's say you have 5,000 list of, or 5,000 records of people with phone numbers, addresses that you want to contact to see if you can close a deal. You'll send 5,000 text messages out to all of those people, and then you'll just kind of hope that most of them text you back. And then from those people that text you back, then those convert into warmer leads, and then you can kind of say, hey, like, are you interested in selling? And the reason I like this method the absolute most is because 99.9% people are at least going to look at their text message. They might not reply to you, but they're at least going to look at it. And so if you can stay top of mind with someone, they're more than likely going to think of you when they decide, oh, I want to sell. So if you're top of mind, they're going to say, oh, I got a text message last month. Door knocking is when you literally go to someone's door that you're interested in buying their house, and you knock on the door and say, hey, I'm interested in buying your house, do you want to sell it? Of course, you're going to say it in a more eloquent way, a little bit more involved into it, which, like I said, we're going to dive into that in another video, don't worry. But that's just a high level overview of it. The reason I like door knocking is because it puts a person and a face to the names. Instead of me saying, hey, my name is D, I'm interested in buying your home, do you want to sell it, over the phone, they can see my face, they can see me smiling, hey, right in front of their face, and they might be more willing to talk to me versus like hanging up the phone before they even talk to me on the phone. And I've personally tried door knocking, and it is amazing. Like, out of all of the 3 methods, I've talked to the most people door knocking. It's hard because you have to be out. Like, I live in Washington State, and it's always raining, so it's hard because I'm out in dress shoes, in a raincoat, getting soaked, talking to these people. But even the people that that don't answer their door, like, I leave what's called a leave behind, and I'll literally write, please call me when you get a chance, D. And 99% of the people that I leave these leave behinds on the door, they call me back. And so at least gives me the chance to talk to these people. And then the other 1% that, don't answer their doors, I can talk to them, or that do answer their doors, I can talk to them face to face and then gain some interest. And so far, out of, let's say, let's say every 30 houses that I knock on, I get at least 5 people that are like, oh yeah, I'd definitely be interested in that. Why don't you follow up me on this day, or so on and so forth. So I've had a lot of success with that. I think I haven't closed any deals off of it yet, so I guess not the best success, but I have at least 5 or 10 leads right now just off of 1 or 2 days of doing door knocking that I know that I need to follow up with in a month or 2 months, and they're interested in doing a deal with me. So that's the 3 strategies that I'm going to use, and we'll see how it goes. Nothing's perfect, and I'm going to try to be perfect, but it's a work in progress and it's a marathon. So we're just going to keep grinding and see how it goes. So the next thing that I decided to do was, I don't like cold calling. It's something that actually takes a long time to do because you're running through hundreds of calls sometimes, and maybe 70% don't answer the phone, and then the other maybe 20% that do answer the phone, they're going to answer the phone and say, F you, stop calling me. Or you're going to pull a list, and there's going to be most of the list is going to say do not contact. Are you going to have been called by some people like me or like you, and they're going to have a do not contact on their thing. And so it's a lot harder to do cold calling because you have to have that dedication and that will to say, no matter how many people say no to me today, I'm going to keep doing this. And I've done it personally for hours and hours and hours. And it's not impossible, but I don't feel like it's a good use of my time. So what I did was I got a lead manager who decided, hey, like, this is a good use of my time. I'm not doing anything else. So for 2 hours a day, I'd be happy to call, because if I can get a commission for literally just making calls every day and talking to people and setting up appointments for you, yeah, I'll do that. And it's a good use of his time. But for me, I want to focus on more high level stuff. I want to talk to motivated sellers, and I want to close deals. And so I'm more of a visionary in that sense. So I want to make sure that I maintain that and offload the things that I don't want to do or that I am not good at to someone that is better at it, or that wants to do those things, so that I can use my time better to further myself and further my business. And kind of leaning on to that, which brings me to my next point, is I decided that I wanted to build my infrastructure out very early. I can definitely, struggle and do one thing at a time, but I decided that I'm going to do this. I'm committed to it. And so I wanted to build my infrastructure out very early. And that includes finding people to surround myself with that want to be, lead managers, or want to be a transaction coordinator, or want to be a part of my business, so that once I am big enough that I can literally not do anything at all and kind of get mailbox money, I want to be able to have built that early so that it starts faster. And one of the things that I have done to do that is I got an LLC. And so when I got my LLC, I did it through a registered agent, because with real estate, let's just say someone decides to look up my business and they're not happy for whatever reason. I don't want my name to pop up the first thing, because the whole purpose of an LLC is to protect yourself and protect your assets. And because I want to protect myself and protect my assets, I used a registered agent to file my LLC for me. And that, I feel like, was a more beneficial move than me just kind of doing an LLC. And so that's the first thing that I did to build my infrastructure out. One of the other things that I did is I created a website and a Facebook page. And it makes you look more professional, because if I just called you, hey, my name is D, I'm interested in your house, and I'm an investor in this area, how do I prove my credibility if I've never done any deals? So one of the ways that I decide to prove my credibility is to look as professional as possible. And so my website and my Facebook are linked together. So if you go to my website, you can then go to my Facebook, or if you go to my Facebook, you can go on my website. You can see a little bit about me. You can see a little bit about what I do and how I can help you as a homeowner and how I can solve your problems. And so that was my goal, and goal accomplished. Now, the only thing that I have to do is keep doing it and see how it works to, gain clients and gain people's trust and faith in me to be able to help them solve their problems. Um, the next thing that I did was I decided for the SMS blast that I wanted to use batch leads to do that. What I found was batch leads is very, very expensive to do. And the reason I decided to not do batch leads is because even though I'm building my infrastructure early, I want to make sure that I'm not spending thousands of dollars every month on trying to get deals before I even get a deal. I would much rather put in hard work up front and make sure that I can actually close deals and stuff like that before I start just shelling out thousands of dollars before I even got a deal. And that was one of the things that I learned from one of my mentors is, hey, like, make sure you are actually making money before you start shelling a ton of money out, because this business is, from what I found, it's not as hard as everyone makes it seem. The hard part is taking no 1,000 times to wait for that one yes. That's, I to be completely honest, I think that that's the hardest part, is making sure that you have that resolve in yourself that no matter how many times you hear no, you're gonna continue to get yes every single time. Just tell yourself that no matter how many times I hear no, I'm gonna continue to wait for that one yes, because that one yes is gonna change your life. Outside of that, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Um, Moving forward, I'm going to continue to make sure that I guess, work on the details of all of those aspects to make sure that they're the best that they can be. So that means, like, I want to make sure my business cards look great. I want to make sure my website looks perfect. I want to make sure my Facebook looks perfect. I want to make sure that I work on myself so that when I'm talking to sellers, I know exactly what to say. I know exactly how to close that deal. And I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing in every aspect, I'm getting better at it and better at it and better at it. Because if I just try to do 5 million other different things, then, I'm going to be a master at all things, or I'm going to be good at all things, but a master at none. So that's my spiel. This is the marathon. I want you to have the motivation that you can do this and make sure that you never take no for an answer. So that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.